everyone. Now I am going to talk to you about when the child, you will notice most of the time when you are giving food, what happens, the children, some of the children, they tend to, rather than chewing, which I have come across parents, they mention, rather than chewing, they tend to just swallow the whole food. So what's going on? Why the child is just swallowing the whole food rather than trying to chew? So if we look at it, that is something which I mentioned in the last video. They have definitely a lot of oral motor sensitivity and they're having drooling, quite a lot of drooling. They are not swallowing the saliva, what is essential to swallow. So what is happening? Why the child is not swallowing? Because whenever the children, they have a lot of around oral motor, they do not they do not receive the sensation the way we do, that whenever, because the lack of sensation, it is very interesting, they have lack of sensation to provide that they to close the mouth in the deep pressure area to be able to understand, to swallow, whereas they are inside the mouth, they are extremely sensitive. That's why they do not want to try different kind of food. So we have to battle these two things in two different ways. So if the child is having not able to get the perception of perceiving that the drool is coming out, so that is right there, we know the child will be messy eater, do not care, food is all over the place, whereas is very sensitive inside putting anything in the mouth. So what we need to do in that kind of case, as I showed in my previous video, we can do the exercise for the face, going like this. But you guys have to be careful, parents, because if the child is sensitive, they will not like it. So you have to have the palm touch against, and you are doing this. Okay, so that is essential we are doing. And for swallowing, this is something we need to work on, closing the mouth. So as how long we can hold it. And also there is another technique is there which I cannot teach, because that is something somebody has to be certified to understand how it is done, because otherwise it will have not the right effect. Once to teach somebody, I have to do hands-on. I can teach you parents, but I have to do hands-on to watch you are doing it correctly, because that's what I do with the parents. I teach them so that they can perform, because I am seeing your child maybe 2 hours or 3 hours in a week. So you guys have the rest of the time, or the other caregiver. So you need to do it correctly. So hands-on, that is very, very essential because I cannot show you as it is going to, I need to see it hands-on. So definitely, so that is essential to do. You can do that. Then after that, the thing is why the child just swallows as a whole rather than chewing, which is lack of sensation inside the mouth, which I mentioned, they do not do. Another thing is most of the children with sensory issues, and also children, they have the diagnosis of autism, I see every one of them have severe allergies. So if severe allergies they have, because did you ever think about it, why they have allergies? That's another topic. I am going to talk about why children with sensory issues have allergies. That will be another video. I'm going to talk about that. So when they have allergies constantly, their nose is stuffy. If their nose is stuffy, they cannot breathe through the nose. So if they have something in their mouth, they have to swallow quickly. So that way, because if they're keeping their mouth closed to chew, they cannot breathe through their nose. So they have to swallow it quickly, so that way that they can breathe. So that is the reason most of the time kids, they will, because these are all, it's not that one thing or other. These are all combined together. I cannot just say, okay, we just need to do this. Just think about it. If you have a cough and cold, how we lose the sensitivity and how we lose the taste bud. We cannot taste any food and we cannot smell. If your child is constantly have these allergies, the stuffy nose, all these things going on, sometimes you probably don't see the allergies runny nose because it's stuffy. If the child is probably on some allergy medication, so just think about it. Being stuffed up all the time, the child cannot even taste the food well. So all these factors, having the taste buds not working properly, they cannot even taste the food properly. So this is something is affecting for the child not to even want to chew, not to do, just swallow it quickly to move on. And so that way then be done with. And so that it can breathe through the mouth. So that is why if I keep working to work with the swallowing thing, but I have not taken care of the stuffiness, what is going on, why the child is having the stuffiness, then it is not going to get better. So we need to take care of that. Then after taking care of the stuffy of the nose, then only when I am going to work around the mouth, it is going to work better. And also, if the child is having all this problem and on top of that having milk, then it's creating even more trouble for the stuffiness and all, which as I mentioned, I am going to talk about the allergies again in my next video, that what we can do so that way we can make it work together. Okay, so when I mentioned about the food, so for the child to be able to taste the food better, if we squeeze, lemon is the key to wake up the taste bud. You know, it has been for a long time it has been used in the nursing homes and everywhere. They use the lemon ice. It has been given for people who cannot, because being in a long-term care for a long time, having a lot of sickness. But for the children with the sensory issues, if we are giving the lemon ice or lime juice, mixing with water, that opens up the taste bud. So if that opens up, the child can taste it more and better, and they will be more open to try more things. So that can be done along with what are the things I mentioned. And also we need to, when I'm talking about eating, and we all deal with this, that what I have talked to the parents again and again, all the time they deal with the problem of child being hyperactive, being all over the place. One thing with the food wise, I will definitely mention, you need to watch for, most of the time we blame it on caffeine, like soda, but we need to watch caffeine. Rather than caffeine, main problem is the sugar. When I'm talking about sugar, it's not about the sugar drink, what the child is eating. If the child is eating white bread, if the child is eating a lot of grain, so that will also cause definitely that sugar problem. And then with the sugar, having that level of sugar, the child will have difficulty to settle down. But the biggest factor with the child being hyper, the food color, because most of the time whenever I talk with the parents, they always have, nobody have ever mentioned to them that the colors, the red 40 is the biggest culprit. Any artificial color in the food. Another thing also, natural color and natto, that is most of the cheese, cheddar cheese has it, that also creates a lot of reactions with the kids with sensory issues because they're so sensitive. So we need to watch for that. That needs to be done. And the which I mentioned about the stuffiness creates the difficulty for the child to be able to not swallow properly. They have to just gulp it so that they can be done and move on to be able to breathe. So that, to take care of that, then I am going to talk to you guys next how we are going to change the stuffiness. What is going on? Why your child has allergies, and what we can do to change that so that the eating can change. There are a lot of things going on, but we have to do things right. About swallowing the saliva, I have to see you guys personally because I cannot show these techniques unless I can teach you hands-on, or I have to show you. If I'm doing telehealth, even then I can show to make sure. But without me observing you, how you are performing, I will not able to show that technique. But other than that, we need to find out what is going on, why your child is having this stuffy nose and allergy. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.